minutes after it says live. I've noticed.
Yeah. Alright, what's going on, guys? Back again with another week, another episode of Game of Thrones. This week it's episode 7, The Broken Man. Here again discussing it. I'm Mr. Black Magic, with me, DOA Head.
Hello, folks.
And Megadez.
What's happening?
I'm ready to talk. I got my cigarette.
Alright, so Broken Man, what'd you guys think? The Hound is back. Oh, spoilers, yeah. Full spoilers.
Somebody's like, you motherfucker!
Yeah.
I would think the title of this little podcast would clue him in, but you know.
Yeah, just in case. Full spoilers. But yeah, so Hound's back. I think I think we discussed that at one point, and I said if you don't see him die on camera, he ain't dead.
So does that mean Stannis is alive?
I've been saying it. There's no reason to believe that Brienne, didn't show mercy to him and didn't kill him, and he could just walked away after that.
He looked like he was gonna die either way.
Yeah,
Side of
but
the mountain or whatever.
well, yeah, that's with the Hound. I think that's I don't know,
The Hound, yeah.
kind of story. Like they just wrote him a lot. Like that seems really unlikely. Some guy came along and found him while he was basically laying there like half dead, out in the middle of the mountains.
Well, they said it had been days, though.
Well, yeah, I know, but still, I mean...
Well, I just mean, it's not like he said he rolled up on him 20 minutes after Arya left.
Yeah, but how was he even alive days later?
Well, maybe he had a broken leg and was scuffed up, but it's not like he got ran through the stomach or something. I mean, he basically broke his leg and took a really bad tumble.
Yeah, but wouldn't a bone
Probably
sticking out of your leg cause you to bleed to death?
Yeah, I don't know.
Necessarily.
Maybe that bone missed like the important artery or something.
Yeah, you could tie it off. I don't know. I mean, I could believe he'd survive it.
I kind of feel like Magic with that. I feel like they just pulled that one out of their ass one week when they were writing this season.
Well, yeah,
But I agree with you, Magic. I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a great character.
I don't really have a problem with it.
Especially if he, groups up with somebody. He was great with Arya and back when he was in King's Landing with, Tyrion and Joffrey and all them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good guy now. The way they made it seem. He'll probably go help Jon or something.
This was also the episode we had heard about months in advance that Ian McShane was going to do an episode.
Is that who the priest was? Was that him?
Yeah, that was the guy from like Deadwood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know that they probably brought him back just so he can fight that mountain dude whenever that comes to that. When their like forces meet.
Yeah, I mean, they showed he's basically going to go off and kill the Brotherhood without banners in the next episode.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, he grabbed that axe very ominously in credits.
Yeah.
Like, not even going to cut him down.
I thought that was pretty fucked up. Like, why did they need to kill those people? Like, you guys didn't give us some food, so you're dead?
Because we want to see the Hound kill people and he needs a reason, damn it.
Yeah. See, that's... Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't like that. They just kill him for story purposes. Like, it doesn't even really fit, Oh, you didn't give us food? Alright. Fuck you, you're dead. Like, okay.
Well, you offered him food.
Well, yeah, that too.
I think they just killed him to steal all his shit. Like all the stuff he was asking about.
It was weird because that other Brotherhood Without Banners group, they didn't really portray them that way. Like, just ruthless like that, killing innocent people.
Yeah.
It's kind of bugging me. You remember how we were joking, I think it was last episode, about them almost breaking fourth wall, where they were referring to the red wedding?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but there was another moment like that in this episode, I remember, where they were talking.
Wait, who?
I can't remember, but I remember at the time when I was watching it, I was like, damn, that's like, it was like another one of those moments where it was like, that's usually how the fans refer to it, not how, like, the people in the show would. It's like, once again, they're reading the forums, but now I can't remember what the line was, but it was definitely...
Well, let's go into the other things maybe I'll remember. Bravos. So Arya is attempting to leave. I thought that little scene was funny. She just like throwing money at the guy. Like, yeah, we're leaving at noon. And she's just like throwing bags of money.
Bothered me. I was like, where did she get all the money?
Stole it. successful hits at some point, maybe? I don't know.
She stole it or some shit, didn't she?
I mean,
But they kind of like
it's
when he
kinda
asked where you stole it from, and she said doesn't matter. I took that as her confirming she stole the shit.
Well, I didn't think it that way. I thought it just meant like, what does it matter where I got it? Period. Like even if I did stole it, why do you care?
Yeah, but he asked a specific question. That's why I think she stole it.
talking to the audience again. Don't ask these questions. I have money, bitches.
Yeah. And then she gets attacked by the girl who was sent off to kill her.
Now she got prison shanked. You see that shit on the lunch line in prison.
Was it just me, or is she like trying to? Remember how he says like, "Don't let her suffer." It seemed like that was kind of her way of letting her suffer. Like,
Yeah.
I'll stab you in the stomach and pretend that I let you get away, type of thing.
Yeah, she doesn't like her.
Well, unless
Yeah,
she
that
thought
shit
she
last
killed her.
episode.
I thought it was presented like she thought she killed her. Like she never came up for air. She's like, well, I win, and walks
Well,
off.
yeah, but I mean, come on, how stupid is she? You know, she's not that gullible.
Look, the
You
now
don't
going
stab
on their
someone in
own
the stomach
without
twice
Martin.
and they're
So
instantly
this
dead.
is this.
You don't stab someone in the stomach twice and then they touch the water and they're instantly dead.
Well, I mean, she
Yeah.
found her that time. You know, she probably doesn't really need to jump in the water after. But just find
Well,
her.
that's what I'm saying. Why it's like her way of letting her suffer, because now she's gonna go run, she's gonna be hurt, and then she's gonna pop up again and fuck with her again. You know, instead of like she could have just slit her throat right there and it would have been done.
Yeah, I mean, like I said last episode, she said you promised when when it's time to order the hit on her ass. So she obviously doesn't like her. So
Yeah.
she does want to see her suffer.
Look, this has been the best and worst season all at the same time. And I think it's because Martin, they don't really have a book to go by. They just have the plot points.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, in some ways, this season's been moving really well. A lot's been going on. In some ways, it's been one of the best. On the other hand, we've had fourth wall moments, fart jokes, fucking old school movie ploys of the person not coming up for air, and that next thing a car will drive by and the person will disappear behind it, you know, or some shit.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's definitely been moments of like, oh god, you know, they're falling into certain tropes.
Yeah, just like the little things in between bigger scenes that they're kind of just making up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that. I think it's doing a good job though, considering there hasn't been very many like huge moments in the season. It's like a season without those yet. I think it's been really good.
I'm just saying, when Martin was writing this shit, there were no fart jokes. There was no like. We could all.
When
agree
was
it's
the
one
fart
of the
joke?
top.
I remember that, but I don't remember exactly when it
It
happened.
was the old dude at the council meeting, and Gregory.
Oh yeah, and he
Jay
like
was there.
farts when he shows up. Yeah, that was pretty childish. Yeah.
And that moment in the first episode with the new leaders of they had taken Khaleesi.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
having that argument about it's one of the best things. Like, no, this is the best thing. No, this is the best thing. We can all agree it's one of the top 5 best. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, what is going on?
Yeah, that did not seem typical of Dothraki, at least how they portrayed them before.
Well, that's what made it even worse. It's just the Dothraki making this joke. I'm like, what happened to the hard asses of season 1? What are these fucking like making jokes? Like,
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, maybe episode 9 will change your mind here. 2 weeks, we're not too far off.
no, I said it's been a great season. Like in terms
Well,
of
yeah.
editing and keeping that plot moving, it's like it never felt draggy really for the most part. I'm sure it'd feel even more brisk if you were to like watch it on Blu-ray or something, you know, where you can watch them like back to back to back instead of like having to wait a week. This season would probably feel fantastic then, because I mean, episode 6 was a tad weak, but it was only a little weak because you got to wait a week for the next one.
Yeah.
You know, if you can binge watch it, I'm sure episode 6 just would fall in line, you know, and the whole season would flow. It's just like I said, there's these little moments that just kind of like,
Damn it! Stop it! Who's writing this?
yeah, I don't know who's letting the writers like put in some little jokes and jabs, but you need to stop.
Well, so in the north, got Jon and Sansa back again this week. So they're recruiting for their fight to take back Winterfell.
Some great speeches for
Yes.
some
So they got the wildlings. You know, I mean, that was guaranteed to happen, basically. I thought that trip to the Mormons was pretty funny with the little girl.
Yeah, she's a hard ass.
Yeah. With so she's what, Jorah's? No, not Jorah. Gior, the old captain of the Night Watch.
What's that, like his granddaughter or something? Or
They said it's her
niece or some
niece.
shit?
Yeah, they're calling him uncle, so that's his niece. And after all that, she gives him 62 fighting men. I'm like, what? All that shit. And you had to get this guy over here to make some big speech for you, and all that shit just gets 62 people.
Maybe there's 62 badass
Well, it sounded
dudes.
like they got some more here and there, but it was all kind of because later in the episode when they're going through the camp, it's like we got 200 from this person and 110 from
Yeah.
this.
And they got none from House Glover, which our friend Pandora brought up a good point. So you know how they used the whole story about like this is a fight for living versus dead. It's not between all these little houses squabbling between each other, and that's eventually how they convinced the girl, the Mormon girl, right?
Yeah.
So why didn't they use that same rationale with everyone else?
Well, maybe they did on the other houses and just not that one for some reason. But I agree. Like, why wouldn't you use it on that one?
Yeah.
Like, why
I
wasn't
mean,
just
yeah,
keep
they're
selling that same speech type thing?
yeah. I mean, that guy was making valid points. They served the Starks, and they just got their castle back. They don't want to go leave it right away and fight. Help fight their war. But it's like, hey, well, if we lose, we're all fucked in the end. So quit bitching. Let's go.
They probably did that just so you're not seeing that
The
over
same
and
speech
over and over again.
Yeah.
So what's the over/under bet on them actually winning the siege, assuming it actually even happens?
Of Winterfell.
Yeah. Especially since we haven't seen what's his name for a few episodes, actually.
Who's that? Peter?
No.
Ramsey.
Yeah, Ramsey. Like,
Oh.
Ramsey's kind of been MIA the last few episodes. So.
Well, it depends. They had that scene where Sansa is sending a letter. Do you guys think she was sending that letter to the Karstark guy?
I'm not sure. And also, remember, Brianna was also going to the Blackfish.
Yeah.
Now, he's kind of under siege, but her history with Jaime maybe does something, and maybe they end up with some help.
For Winterfell? Like what? Brienne convinces Jaime to help him with Winter. Well, that's the thing. There's
Jaime's got 8,000 men, so either she can convince him to help her, or maybe he can convince him to accidentally let everybody out of the castle, or I don't know.
But that's what they want anyway. That's what I was thinking. She'll get that Blackfish and all these dudes to go help Jon, and then
but they're under
Jaime wins
siege,
also. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's win-win.
Yeah, there is a bunch of little ties there. Like obviously Brienne is tied to Sansa's with the Starks, and Brienne has a long history with Jaime. But then the Blackfish, he's related to Catelyn, who's obviously Sansa's mom.
Actually, Omega just made a really good point. I hadn't even thought about that. Was smart. Like a win-win for Jaime.
Yeah.
Because he wants the castle.
Blackfish lives. His dudes live.
Yeah, like they all go and join Jon's army. He now has the castle. Win-win.
Wait, which castle? The River Run?
Yeah, remember Jaime's there to take that castle because it was before Walter Frey. So if they were to just leave to join the army, that means he's got the castle now, and he didn't have to kill anybody, and they can all go join the army. I mean, if the Blackfish was down with that.
Yeah, but I was going to say, that's a win-win, assuming that the Blackfish is just going to give up the castle.
Well, it depends what the Blackfish's priorities are. What's more...
I'm thinking more of Brienne being there.
The north, or to keep his house?
Well, that's why Brienne went there,
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll find out next week. But I
think
that's how it'd turn out.
I would think both, though. Like, I can see him joining their army, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to want to leave and be like, here, you can have my house, and I'll just go fight in this war.
He'll probably leave hesitantly if he does leave. I'm not saying he's just going to be like, all right, let's go. There'll be some story there, but,
well,
I think that's the purpose of that.
So what do you guys think, getting ready here for episode 9, do you think it's going to be the battle at Winterfell, or maybe battle at River Run? One of those for episode 9?
I kind of think the Winter Run fight, if there is one, unless it somehow ends up not being a fight by some means, would be 9. Because, I mean, it seems like the next episode is going to be about them meeting with the Blackfish and whatever that letter Sansa wrote. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see all that happening. And now the battle, like 30 minutes into the episode or something.
I don't think there'll be a fight there at all.
I mean, I could see it go. I could see it go either way. But yeah, I think a lot of people are just assuming that we're going to get a big battle. I'm kind of with Omega. I think it's 50-50. There might end up being no fight at all through
No, I
various
could see that. I
things,
can easily see that.
that happen.
Well, it's kind of what they said in the next on too. What she said to him about. Well, I forget the exact words, but she basically told Jamie, if I have to fight you, I have to fight against you because of honor or some shit like that. That's why I think she's convincing him to let her go talk to that dude and try to get him out of there in that scene, and give him no reason.
I thought
Like, you let me do this, or I'll probably have to kill you. Basically, is what I'm hearing.
I thought the phrase "little feeble attempt at a siege" was kind of funny. They basically just set up like 3 tents and like, hey, we got your son or whatever that guy is to him.
I don't understand why the Blackfish and his people didn't open the door and go kill them all. Like, it really seemed so pitiful.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? I mean, you're right across that little like moat you've got. You've got guys with crossbows. I mean, why aren't you just like railing hail down on these? You know?
Yeah.
And
He
just
just-
killing
he just-
them.
He
Why
just
are you
looked
just
like he didn't
letting
care.
them sit out there?
It looked like he didn't care to me. So he's got 2 years worth of food. He
Still,
just looked like he didn't give a shit. Like, go ahead. Like, we'll be in here
you got
chilling.
some dick out there threatening the castle and threatening your nephew. I'm like, fuck that, kill these motherfuckers. There's only like 12 of them.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's like a couple of spikes in the ground and like 4 tents. It's like 7 dudes.
I mean, it seems like all you got to do is shoot some fire arrows and burn down their tents and shit. We win.
Yeah, but you kill those dudes and then more dudes come. Maybe.
Well, shit, it sounded like from the previous episode, Old Frey didn't have any more dudes. That was like the whole point his men were making. He's like,
Well,
how
yeah,
are we
he
supposed to take
doesn't
it
know
back
that.
with what? I mean, shit, how could you not know that? Look at that pitiful ass war. I mean,
Well, I mean, it's just like that Walter Frey's working for. What's his name?
I guess, but
Sure.
it still just seemed like, I don't know, whatever. But we brushed over one of the important things of the whole Jamie and Blackfish thing. We finally saw Braun. Finally,
Yeah.
he had lines. He was on the show.
Yeah. You really like him. No, he's good. I mean, I like that whole couple little lines he had with Jamie. He was saying he'll be running the Lannister army here.
Well, yeah, he had that great comeback line where he's like, "That's like saying I have the biggest dick in the Unsullied army." Or something.
Yeah.
It's like, awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great character. Him and Davos are 2 of my favorites. I mean, I obviously like Tyrion, who doesn't. I mean, and same with like Valix and Peter. But
Alex. This ain't Destiny.
yeah, you know what I mean.
But,
The spider, if you want me to call him that.
or just Varys, that works his name.
The spider sounds cooler. Come on now.
But so 2 of the little more kind of on the minor side, Greyjoys. So Theon and Yara, his sister, they basically confirmed that their plan is to head off to Daenerys.
Which we kind of already assumed anyway.
Yeah.
At least they confirmed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool to see her trying to man up her brother again.
I thought it was kind of funny seeing her like sucking a girl's tits. Like she's one of the guys basically.
Yeah, I thought that was almost a little typical though. I was like, oh, it figures they just make her a butch lesbian, but
Yeah, but I don't know.
on the nose,
It made
but all right,
sense with
whatever.
her though because she's like a captain and she's I mean they basically presented her as like one of the strongest guys there. I mean, it kind of
I
makes
didn't mean
sense.
she had to be a guy.
Well, yeah, no, true, but
I don't know. I just thought it was a little typical that they would make her like that. I was like, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I would have
they
probably
don't
gone.
make
If I were
asses
the
like
writer,
that.
I'd have probably gone the other way with that because it just, like I said, 2 on the nose. Like it's
They
kind of
don't make gases like that on wherever. I forgot where they live.
the Iron Isles.
Yeah, Iron Islands, yeah. And then King's Landing, so I mean they basically confirmed like we all assumed last week that Marjorie is, or maybe it was the week before, that Marjorie's still with the Tyrells, just playing her cards right for the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing new there. I mean, there was some great dialogue between her and Cersei.
What was that? What was the rose mean?
Well,
I don't
that's
remember
their-
seeing it.
that's
The
their
sigil or something?
potential. Yeah.
I was thinking it was like, here, get this tattooed on your titty, grandma, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
Or a little like, I'm still with you.
yeah, I knew. I don't remember seeing that design anywhere. That's
I don't think they really show their flag or anything. So yeah, I mean,
in the background here and there, but it's never been like really.
Not like real prominent like
It's
they
not
showed
like this.
Lannister and Stark all the time. Yeah.
Right. They didn't need to show me that shit. I knew she was playing games. You don't
I
change
thought
them quick.
her grandma is great as always, though.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying about the her and
Like,
Cersei part.
yeah,
Didn't
well,
really
that and the
forward the
part before
plot, but it
that.
was just great.
The part before that, too, where she's like, I can have my guards come in here and beat you until I fix saying stop. We're just talking to the,
Yeah,
whatever that old lady, like, nun is, whatever she is.
yeah, she's like an evil nun.
Yeah.
I think she's just making sure what's her name ain't for the shit.
Well, Marjorie? Well, yeah, that's why she was there.
Will they? Am I forgetting a scene? Remind me.
No, I
Right.
think that's,
Would you? I
that
assume
was,
you watch the next week on.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they showed a couple, the
I thought maybe
Sparrow
they showed
versus
a
the
little too
Mountain were
much.
there.
Yeah, I was surprised they showed all
You
that.
think?
I was like, because there was that little glimpse
Yeah,
right before it cut away where like the mountain was about to crush that dude's head into the ground. I was like, okay, we're
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
getting a
So they're
fight next
definitely
week.
fighting.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not even fucking around. I was like, nope, shit's going down. You're gonna see the mountain crush some bitches.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying before, they showed Brienne at River Run, so she's gonna have
Yeah,
some part to play there.
yeah, you started talking to Jamie and
Um,
stuff. So
there's
I'm
still
excited.
stuff with Arya and the Faceless Man. I thought that was a cool scene where she's walking through the crowd and she's kind of suspicious of everyone because a face man could be any one of those people.
Yeah,
Yep.
I thought again Pandora. I thought she brought up a good point about how basically Arya's gonna be running for the rest of her life, and anyone could be a faceless man at any point. You know.
although I'm sure
Eh,
it helps to get out of that city.
I
Well,
think she
yeah.
needs to kill that chick. I think when she
Stop, bitches.
Well, that's
relax a
true.
little
If
bit.
she kills her, then yeah, the other guy probably wouldn't go hunt her down.
He
And
seemed
they've
like
only
he was
showed
more
those two.
sympathetic to her.
They've only ever showed those two as well. I mean, it might be. It
Well,
seems
It's a
like there
small
would be more, but
organization.
yeah, it's me and my apprentice. We kill everyone.
The whole city fears them, and it's like just two dudes.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they have them like monk-looking dudes cleaning a body or something in there? Before?
There's like random people that are walking around, but I don't know if they ever. It didn't never really made it seem like they were faceless men though.
Yeah, I just assumed they didn't matter to the story. Just those two that they
Yeah.
showed.
And then it shows the Hound going on a rampage. It shows him like fighting somebody in the forest.
I
And
don't
then
remember that. I must have blinked and
it
missed
was
it.
a real quick glimpse, just like a second.
Yeah,
And
like I
then
said, must have blinked and missed it.
same thing with Tyrion. It shows Tyrion, I don't know, doing something. It sounded like he was maybe heard dragons flapping above the castle. So like Daenerys is coming back. She'll be back in Marine next episode.
Yeah, this was kind of a rare episode of no Tyrion and no Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Like, because those are two of like, or shit, two of probably the two most popular characters.
Well,
Period.
especially with them being split up recently, so they've had a reason to switch back and forth between the two. Like if
I'd
one
like to
episode you
look
get
back.
Tyrion.
Has there ever been an episode where at least one of them wasn't on before this one?
Probably.
I
Yeah.
actually think probably not.
Well, no, you might be right because before that, Tyrion was in King's Landing, so it basically had to been no King's Landing shots and no Daenerys. So yeah, you
Well,
might be
yeah,
right.
that's what I'm saying. Like the two most popular characters, like this has got to be the. I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems like this is probably the one and only episode ever that didn't feature either one of them.
I wonder how many. I was thinking, how many scenes are there where there's not like one major character though? Because you know how the books are written like from a certain person's point of view.
Hmm.
That seems like basically every scene would have to have like one point of view worthy character. You know what I mean?
You talking about the chapters or just like one
Yeah.
person's point
No,
of view?
the chapters. Yeah, the chapters in the books are written from one person's point of view.
Yeah, it's a POV book.
So that's basically every
The
scene's a
whole
chapter,
book's
then, right?
first shoot.
Every what?
So every scene when they switch scenes is just a chapter in the book, then basically.
Pretty much. I mean, they might not. Maybe they break it up a little different, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there was a couple scenes last season where they were in wherever it was where not the Tyrells, the red snakes or whatever, those three
Sand
girls.
Snakes.
Yeah, the sand snakes, and the other dude that died. I can't think of their last name, but
Martell or something.
yeah, Martell, Oberyn Martell. Yeah, wherever they live, I don't think any of those characters' point of view. And there was a couple scenes there where they were plotting
They still
schemes and
haven't
stuff.
been seen since that first episode.
Yeah, that's true. They need to bring them back. They've been kind of just
They really kind of left us all hanging on that because he
yeah,
made it sound like that they were going to war with the Lannisters, and it's like nothing.
yeah. Now it's like, all right, well, we're dealing with the sparrows now, so you guys can just chill over there.
Right.
Is there anyone else that they've kind of been skipping on?
No, not really. I mean, they've done a good job of actually bringing back some people. Because remember, I was complaining about the lack of Blackfish, and the nephew got married, but they've kind of brought those
Yeah,
guys back.
and
So,
Braun, yeah.
but yeah, Braun finally got some screen time. About damn time. This season sucks. I've decided. There's no Braun. It's like,
Yeah.
Why are you so obsessed with that dude?
oh, we didn't. That's who we didn't get this episode. Is we didn't get Bran either, did we?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we didn't get.
Good. Give a shit about that gimp.
Bran
Well,
and
I agree, but I do give a shit about Benjen. I want to see more about what his characters, the deal with his character's been, but they didn't touch on that this episode either.
this is kind of off topic, but it was interesting. I was looking up who the Warden of the North was before Ned, and there's at least like 13 people that were the Warden of the North before him, and they're all Starks.
Oh, really?
And two of the oldest one of them's name is Brandon, and the other one was, or no, it was like Benjen and Rickon were two of the older ones.
What about John Starks of the New York Knicks?
John Starks of House Knicks.
Yeah.
House Knickerbocker.
Yeah. Of House Knickerbocker. My sigil is a basketball. What's that? I don't know. Yeah, so.
Rand,
Alright, so next week.
whoa,
Oh,
I
what?
wanted to bring up one thing, on subject, off subject. Rand was telling me last night that, like, I'm not sure if it was the comic creator or the show creator. I think comic character, so don't quote me. If I'm wrong, don't yell at me. But basically, the guy who does the comic book, I think, for The Walking Dead, I guess wrote some article about Game of Thrones and how disappointed he was in Martin.
Robert Kirkman?
I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's the name Rand said.
That's the comic guy.
Yeah, and he was basically saying how disappointed he was in Martin for, like, ruining his books and giving them the plot points, and how he was saying if that had been me, they would have done the show up to the point where they caught up, and he would have told them to fuck off. They're going to have to make up the rest of it, and he wouldn't have told them a goddamn thing. And then he was so disappointed in him for, like, letting down the readers and shit. I don't know, what do you think about that? Agree, disagree?
Well, I mean, I could maybe see it from a writer's perspective, but as someone who doesn't want to read the books, then nope, he can fuck off, and I want to see the show.
Yeah.
And I want to make the show as good as possible. So if the writer, the original writer, can help with that, then so be it.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Yeah, Rand
I,
was telling me that
I could
story.
see it from his perspective, though. If I was writing a book, I'd probably be the same way. I'd probably say fuck off and let me finish my own
Well, yeah,
story.
especially for as long as he's been writing these. After 20 years of keeping people along, and then it's like, oh, this show's going to give away most of the big points of the books coming up.
Yeah.
It's like,
Now, if I was a writer, I'd probably agree with that. But as someone who just wants to watch the show, no.
Yeah, I don't care about the books.
okay. All right, I just want to bring
Well,
that
all
up.
right, so it's next week, episode 8. Almost done. Kind of sucks.
3
Only
left.
3 more episodes. Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us. Peace.
Later.
Laters.